So part two to this enclosure. This enclosure here, it's you would probably have to look at the part one to understand it. 618s, 49,000 watts continuous. It's you know, Stinger Audio, the SPV 70 power series, Hifonics Colossus, 12 of them, their largest ones. As I was saying on the previous video, it's got a SPL layer and then another layer behind the box, because anything of this amount of power, it will over time probably loosen something in these amps if you don't give it anything to kind of act as like a shock absorber, you know, for these amps, especially right here. Like I would definitely add another layer right here, especially these amps being strapped, as you see there. Definitely gotta absorb as much vibration as possible. Strictly designed for shows and hair tricks. As you can see, the port, you know, it's got, you know, the box being like right here in the front window, or excuse me, the front passenger window is right here, so that air is flowing right through here to about 10 dB over. It will just rick and rip, man. It's got bracing all down through it. You can see the 5 braces in it, alligator floor, mahogany wood grain, bracing everywhere. I mean, strong as hell. 4th order, tuned high, man, like 60 hertz or something, you know what I'm saying, just for 3-second burps, man. It will freaking rip, man. It really would. 1/2-inch plexi on the floor, 1-inch plexi up high. Doesn't have to be, as long as it's removable. What else is on this one? The straps, because this is 2 pieces. The battery bank's 1 piece, the 21 batteries. Oh, and another thing, I would actually probably subtract about 3 to 4 batteries on each side for the bump out of the fender well, very similar to the PSI audio enclosure that I did with the Rockford Fosgate amps in the truck bed. Very similar to that one. And what I would do to keep the standby is just underneath the vehicle, the truck or the van, SUV, is right through here. I would make just like a bracket, a little sub battery bank, you know, here and then here, for 3 or 4 batteries on each side, because you know, this, you know, being, you know, show, you want to be able to play it for long periods of time at certain volumes, and then for hair tricks, you know what I'm saying, when that SPL is flowing through here, man, you want to be able to, you don't want to lose any power. It's got the Southern Soundz logo, rose gold right there, all rose gold, 4 shades of the gold spectrum on the trim right here. It's clockwise rifled trim, inlaid gold, you know what I'm saying, 1/2-inch up, 1/2-inch down. Mahogany. This thing's a beast, man. It really is. Like, it just really gives you more of an idea of like the company, my style, you know what I mean, like just real clean work, man. You could, you know, it's got 3 shades of the gold, right here, inlaid for corner bracing. You can even see the corners, you know, right here, the mahogany, and then the true brace in front of it. And then actually this is all 1 piece, you know what I'm saying. It's just a rectangle, but they're not rectangles, they're triangles that make up the rectangle. It's awesome. I mean, it really is. It took forever to design it, but you know, you take your time with stuff, man, you end up coming out with a nice product. You know, they're incredibly heavy. You know, a true SPL subwoofer from Kicker Audio, they're to my knowledge, they're 103 pounds each. So, you know, very similar to like the Earthquake competitions. You know, a lot of the larger SPL subwoofers. It's got, you know, darkened alligator, I said this already, but darkened alligator floor on it with a plexi on it. I'm trying to think of anything I left out, man. spraying everywhere, as you can see, literally, except for the surface where the mahogany is. It's kind of like inspired from gunsmithing, pool tables, you know, just shows, you know, you could, you know, as long as you had enough fuel, man, I mean, you could just do hair tricks, like, pretty much, you know, all day, man. It would have to have many alternators on it, probably about 5, you know what I mean, literally. Let's see, what else is there on it? Tremendous amount of, you know, a good amount of standby, but the 5 alternators, you know, 300 or more ampacity will be fine. They're the dual 2s, you know what I mean, 1 on each voice coil. You could put plenty of mids and highs on it, you know, 4 total. Let's see, what else? Let's see, it's you know, over 6 feet length and almost a little over 5 feet high. It's huge, man. My favorite so far. I really love to build it because I don't know if you've seen part 1, but where the speakers are mounted. The reason why I did this is because it really, well, one, sound, it would have its own sound, but when this, say for example, when this sub drives out, it's literally going to be using this wall, the roof, and these walls too, but when it drives it out with the positive signal, it's only going to be hitting from this point. And the same thing on this one. This speaker is only going to be using this space. Same thing and same thing. So I mean, there's really no major right-away stress from, you know, another speaker. It has like a real natural flow to it, even though it is 45s in like a S or Z shape. You can see, I mean, look at that. It just looks crazy, man. Imagine literally walking up to this thing on a show. I mean, it's freaking insane. I'm trying to think of anything I left out. Bracing. They're individual chambers for the negative signal. I was thinking about if I could put it in a larger vehicle, you know, just slightly larger. I could port it both ways, the negative side, and then, you know, just use this as like a 4th order. You know, then it would be a 6th order, not a 4th order. But the 4th orders are good, man. I did that because this size and space, you know, for the 618s, and then you can tune it high. You can tune it, you know, depending on the competition you're in, or if you're just showing, it really don't matter. But you know, usually most competitions you're not allowed to go over like 80 hertz. You know what I'm saying? Some people are 60, but this would be perfect for that. I mean, literally 3-second signals, it'll rip, man. It really will. Like, no shit. This thing's no joke, man. I'll tell you straight up. You'd have to wear ear protection. The whole vehicle would have to be, you know what I'm saying, literally 50,000 RMS. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot, man. It really is. I know there's people with, you know, 70s and over, but for a show, like straight show enclosure, you know what I'm saying, 50, this thing's a beast, man. It'll be incredibly expensive. You could spend anywhere from literally 200,000 all the way, if you wanted to get real crazy with this inlaying and gold and everything, you know, over $500,000 just on this enclosure, not including the vehicle, all the installation you have to do and wiring to the vehicle. Just on this rectangle piece you see right here would be, you know, literally 250, $500,000. That includes labor, but just to give you an idea, man, this thing ain't no joke, man. I gotta get ready and go, but you can see it's quality for sure. I don't think there'd be anybody in the world that would argue that. I want to say exotic, because it is very fancy looking. You know, I mean, it has just insane trim. I mean, you know, this inlay alone would take forever if it was gilded gold, 4 shades, and then you'd have to do, you know, all the floors, and then all the ceilings, as well as these corner inlays. Don't forget to check out that website, southernsounds2zs.webs.com. Thank you.